is Dr. Isaac, Director of Education and also proprietor of Education and Business Consultancy on part-time basis. I want to continue my presentation on purpose, progress, or perfection in relation to goal setting. If an individual wants to grow, you must look at what you want at any point in time. It is important that you understand the terms you use or the ways you use if you want to succeed as a human being. If it is in business, you must understand, even if you are not an expert in finance and accounting or economics, you should be able to understand your terms in such a way that they can tally with the goals you set for yourself for the specific purpose or goal or for your life purpose in general. There is no way you confuse certain things and still think that you get away with it. When you look at the way finance people talk about money, you can look at money in various ways. For layperson, money is just what you can have in your pocket and use it to buy things, and that is all about it. It is important for us to know that money can also be looked at in various ways. So when you talk about money, depending on who you are talking to, money could just be the coins or notes that you have that you want to use to buy or solve your problems. You could also look at money in respect of whether it is for certain purposes, whether you want to use it for your immediate daily use, or you are using money to be able to take care of certain things that you cannot immediately say whether they will happen to you, to your immediate family members or not. Or you can talk about money in respect of where you put money in, so that in due course it will give you certain returns. Invariably or technically, you could be talking about money, the same money, in three ways. The purpose is critical. That's why I've always said that whether you are looking at purpose, progress, or perfection, it depends on where you are coming from. So when you take money and you look at your daily use, I'm talking about transactions. So doing economics, they will tell you, or in ordinary daily use of money, they will tell you what are some of the things that you need money as an individual for: water, for lights, for food and for clothing, etc. If you are a business, it's about the same thing. You need to buy fuel, you need to maintain your car, you have to set aside money to take care of your bills and so on. You may also talk about money, whether as an individual or organization, in respect of whether people can fall sick. You know that, but you don't know whether people will fall sick. You put some money aside for it. You don't know whether people will have accidents, but you know that people can have accidents, so you set some money aside for it. So when you put money aside for things that you yourself don't know where they will surely happen, talk about precautionary side of money, or money that you may refer to as, instead of the building term contingency, this one talk about precautionary, that you take precaution in the way you spend your money. You can also talk about speculative, when it's the same money but you put it at where you want to try and understand whether in due course the same money will give you some more money in respect of either bonds or stocks. It may not only be bonds or stocks. In fact, you can use it to buy any commodity that you think that where it is now, even if it's a bag of shea nuts, whether it's a bag of maize, whatever, you know, in the next 3 months or 4 months, you may get 20 cedis or 30 cedis. You pay your tax out of it, and then you take what you want to take from it. It is speculative in a way. So the use of money will depend on the purpose you set for yourself. Invariably, you can also look at how you understand assets or liabilities. People will just think that anything that belongs to you that can become money or that can help you do other things is just asset. But as to whether as you are having it, it's actually helping you, it's giving you more money, it can add you income or not, people don't do that. There are some of the things that you become slaves to. When you become slave to anything, it's a liability. If you build a house that you need to get so many people to be cleaning, when in fact it is not an official accommodation where monthly you get more money from it and they pay those who are cleaning, what do you do with a mansion? So you find that yes, if you were selling it, you can say that it's an asset. But if you are living within it and you are rather toiling and working around every now and then, it becomes a liability on you. The same house, you could rent it out or you can use it for other purpose, and monthly even you can take money from it and buy a simple structure or build a simple structure and use the rest of the money to be able to do other investments. Once, or if it's standing alone and you are taking rent from it, then it becomes an asset. So it depends on what you are using an item for. I mean, for the finance aspect of it or accounting part, where anything that you are receiving, it will become an asset, and anything that is potentially or you are giving out becomes a liability. May not just be so. If you want to set your purpose correctly, you must find out what something is taking away from you currently, whether it is even for you or not. Because if you decide to buy a family car that can take 7 or 8 people, as a matter of fact, in 2-3 days or 5 days out of the 7 days in a week, you are the only one using it. Meanwhile, it's a family car. Maybe it's only on Sunday that you will go with the family to church or to the mosque. In that case, can you call such a thing an asset? It's a liability because it's taking so much money from you. You are spending so much money to maintain it. You are spending so much money to buy fuel, as compared to if you were to buy a simple means of transport that may also look beautiful and nice to fit your status. At the same time, you are earning from the rest of the money that you could have used. Except to say that it's such a vehicle or means of transport that can be used to run certain activities that will give you money, and in due course you then decide to use it to do your private thing in a few hours, and then you continue to go and then run transport services to bring you money, then it's an asset. So I want us to understand the difference we set for ourselves. And once you are able to set a goal that you yourself can see that it helps you to move from one level, you can begin with certain liabilities. Because if you start with your own money and then you pick some loans, it's not that liabilities are themselves terribly negative or they are negative things. It depends on what you are talking about. In any case, we don't always have to begin from a perfect note. I've explained time and again that perfection is not infallibility, or a situation where you make no mistake, or a situation where there are no failures. That's not what it means. Perfection here will be as you set your goal, as you set the purpose, where have you reached in the progression? Because if you set a goal to progress to achieve a certain goal, as you draw nearer to the goal you set yourself, it means that you are attaining perfection. I've said once again that people normally say that the sky is somebody's limit. It cannot be so for everybody, because some people's sky doesn't go beyond their head, and depending on how tall you are. So if you set a very short goal, if you set a very limited goal, if you can see that what you are going to achieve is going to be within the limits of the goal you set for yourself. And so somebody's perfect level could be as high as the sky and may even go beyond the sky. It is not the sky that is the person's limit. It is as well the person is able to conceive the space from where he or she is sitting up to the skies. And so you set a wide goal. That's how come some people have said that if you want to dream, you must dream big. It is just because they understand that your life purpose must be as broad as possible, in such a way that you can begin to make progress, you can gradually achieve your goals as you set them. Again, the broad issue about setting good goals is that when you run into challenges, you know how to maneuver, because come to think of scarce resources and then the limitedness of opportunities, you then explore alternatives. And in the words of Ezekiel, it's not about you changing your destination or amending your purpose or goal. It is about you meandering in the sense that you change your direction and vary a few things, knowing that while you are passing a different end, you are making progress gradually to your end goal, and that will be the perfection that you intend to achieve. I've said that somebody's perfection could be as small as the smallest car, and somebody's perfection, depending on the goal you have set yourself and how broad the goal is, could be as nice, expensive as a Land Cruiser in the case of Ghana, or limousine car. These may all be vehicles for private use, but they are of different sizes, different qualities, and then different appreciation to society. So our goal, our purpose will determine the limits within which we can grow and develop as human beings.